This video, I'm going to talk about concentration through limitation. We all, I think, have problems concentrating and focusing because we have so many distractions these days. You've got, obviously, our cell phone, which is the biggest distraction, emails, maybe you're working from home, and you got your kids, knocking on your door, your dog's barking or something. There's always something going on around us that's breaking up our concentration. But I think we all realize too, if you want to be super productive, the best thing to do is to concentrate your effort at one time. This is, counter to our multitasking culture. We always feel like we have to be doing two or three things at once. And I also have the same tendency. I feel like, if I'm just reading a book, my mind starts wandering to something else, or maybe I'm watching a movie and I start scrolling through my phone and through Instagram. So I'm never really doing one thing at a time. And because of that, you're never really doing anything as well as you possibly could. So putting limitations on your attention span is one of the best things that you can do to be more productive and also just feel more at peace. Because when you are trying to do two things or three things at once, you just feel a little frazzled, you feel a little stressed, and that's because your mind is always having to switch from one thing to another, and you never really get in a good flow. Anybody that's done sports or painting, anything creative, you know inherently that you're much better if you're just hyper focused on that one thing. You kind of get into a flow state and you just feel more at ease and you almost lose track of time. There's a Maya Angelou, who is obviously a very famous writer. She did this by having a very strict routine in her writing process. She would actually rent a hotel wherever she was living at the time, and she would check in. She would rent the hotel for months at a time, however long her writing process was going to take, and she would go to the hotel room at 6:30 every morning, do nothing but write. There's nothing else in that hotel room. She wouldn't even let the attendants change the sheets because she never slept there. She never did anything other than write from about 6:30 in the morning till like 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon. That was her writing room. And she did that. She shaped her environment to make it more conducive for her to be focused on her writing. And we can all do a little bit of that. Maybe you're trying to write a book. If you're trying to write a book or even a blog, it would make sense to just say, I'm only going to do this thing that will help me accomplish that goal at a time. And so if renting a hotel room from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. is not an option, maybe just set a timer and say, all right, I'm only going to sit in front of the computer. I'm not going to open up any other browser, and I'm going to write for 30 minutes at a time. And if you do that consistently, you will get the thing done in a lot more efficient manner than if you just kind of write a little bit here, then go wash some dishes or go outside for a walk, write a little bit again. It's just much better if you sit there and focus on one thing at a time. And my tool that I do is I just set a timer and I say, all right, for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is, I'm going to do this one thing. And I will always feel more at peace once that time is up, because I've known that I put all of my concentrated effort towards that one thing versus, trying to spread it too thin on too many things at once. So that's my one tip. If you're trying to accomplish something, concentrated effort through limitation, limiting your attention span to one thing, or maybe even limiting your environment to make it where it's much more conducive that you're only going to do that one thing while you're there. But think of things that you can do that's just going to make it easier to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. Shape the path is what I always say. So that's all I got for this video. I will see you in the next one.